This is sports stuff. Betting stuff.
Ka-chow!
Alex, do you not have a sound effect anymore?
I'm just trying to protect myself from the flames of defeat.
That was good.
For anybody not in tune with the YouTube situation here, you need to get involved because Alex's token tonight is epic, and you will truly understand what Alex was using for protection.
Yeah, I agree.
If
you
watch
have to get
YouTube.
on the YouTube because we're not going to describe it. Get on the tube.
Sports Stuff W/Jimmy Everson Muff on the YouTube. This is Sports Stuff Betting Stuff, number one sports betting podcast coming out of the Sports Stuff with Jim and Muff Enterprise. I'm your host, Muff, the original degenerate, and I'm joined by
Jim, the future Ohio degenerate.
And Alex, the cold medical degenerate.
Are you cold?
You like betting cold, or are you like deathly cold?
You are in the basement of your grandmother's house.
Betting cold. I do not live here, just for anyone who's listening for the first time. Just grandma sitting.
But is it cold there?
No, it's very hot.
Hence the protection.
Yes.
Okay.
Got you.
So, for any new listeners out there, the structure of the show is we will go over our best bets from last week. We'll go over our specialty picks from last week, and then we will have conversation about the upcoming week in college football and in the NFL. We can now call it the NFL again, just so we're clear.
Yeah, we're back. That's nice.
We're not the Professional American Football League. Apparently, the NFL Films and Pat McAfee have made amends, or at least come to some level of understanding.
They've made peace.
There's peace. There's peace in the world.
Yeah.
Not painful anymore.
No longer the patful. So we will again, as usual, go with the best record to worst record this past week. And the best record belongs to me again, although saying I have the best record this week is not necessarily a brag. But nonetheless, I was 3-4 this past week. I lost in the college world. I took UNC -7.5. That was an L. I took the Iowa Purdue over 40. That was an L. And I took Wisconsin to cover 4.5, which was my lone win in the college football world. And I'm sorry. Yeah, my lone win in the college football world. And I also had Tennessee plus the points, 8.5. Obviously a loss in that game as they got dominated. In the NFL, I was 2-1. I had Patriots -5.5, which was a win over the Colts. My loss was the Vikings -3.5, which was a very close loss, yet still a loss. And then I took the Seahawks plus the points, taking on the Cardinals, and that was a win, leaving me at 3-4 for the week.
Is it me now?
Yeah.
Okay. I lost the UNC game like Muff. My lone win in college was the Kentucky -1.5 over Missouri. Lost the Tennessee game. Lost the Bama game. I thought I would hit one of those. Lost them both. I won the Pats game like Muff did. Lost the Vikings game. Did not heed the advice to stay away from the Bears game. Lost it. And I hit the Seahawks game with Muff.
Which is Jim at 3-5.
How did you lose? You lost?
What'd I lose?
Never mind. Nothing.
Yes.
All right. We all won 3 games. I just noticed that, except for me. I was smart and went 3-4. You were kind of smart, went 3-5, and I was a dumbass, so went 3-7. So I lost the Duke -9.5. I lost Ohio State Northwestern over 57.5. Side note, I did not know it was going to be that freaking windy.
Yeah, that was
that
not good.
I lost UNC -7.5. I lost Tennessee +8.5. I lost Oklahoma State -2.5. I lost Syracuse +3.5. My only college win was 1-6. I hit the over 44.5 by Clemson and Notre Dame. I would just like to side note, just to pat my own back, make myself feel a little bit better. I later in the day threw bets on Florida State to cover against Miami and LSU money line. It hit those both.
Yeah, but they don't count.
I know, but they count for me.
I mean, if you want to make yourself feel better, I guess.
NFL, I went 2-1. I lost the Dolphins -5. Seahawks money line was a win, and Ravens -2.5 was a win.
Okay. Which brings the running best bets record for the season to Muff, me, still atop the leaderboard at 37, 34, and 1. Followed then by Alex at 39 and 44. And Jim has almost caught all the way up to second place after being in a deep dark hole at 39, 44, and 1. Almost there, Jim. Almost there.
I mean, I'm knocking on the doorstep there, brah.
See, I feel like I fell in a hole.
Welcome to my world.
I can climb out. There's still hope.
Hey, it's easy. It's easy. Just gotta go on a run.
It's easy.
We'll get there.
Was it easy?
It took like 2 weeks of good stuff. We might be running out of weeks on the college side.
Sure.
We got to make our run now, buddy. It's go time.
It is go time.
College has not been the area where we've excelled, though.
We have not.
So that kind of puts
Which is odd. What does that say about the college football season? I mean, we won't have Clemson in the playoffs. We may not have Alabama in the playoffs. College football's been weird. I don't think that's our fault.
Well, you're choosing to bet on the games of those teams, right? There's a lot of other opportunities that you don't have to bet the Bamas, the Tennessees.
You're right.
The Clemsons.
You're right.
So
there should be a word. There should be a name for fans that do that. There should be a word for us that only bet the big hitting stuff like that.
You're called John Q. Public.
There you go. John Q. Public.
All right. Which leads us into our specialty picks last week. Unfortunately, the Mike Allstott hit stick pick of the week. Cool. Great sound effects. Glad we could do that. Pow, 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 pow.
Well, I think Alex is on mute.
Yeah.
Pow, 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 pow. Sorry.
Don't wait, Granny.
I was like, I made it. Why are you doing that? But I did make it quiet because we're at grandma volume today.
Unfortunately, it was a loss, bringing the Mike Allstott hit stick pick of the week to 5-5. We took UNC minus 7.5 at Virginia. Wow. Did not pan out as we wanted to in the Neil Brown risky pick of the week. Another winner. Seahawks money line taking on the Cardinals.
I tell you what, Neil Brown has won more games with us than he has with West Virginia.
You ain't lying.
It's very much so.
Lying.
Very much true. And the Punisher parlay.
Punisher
Falls to 0-10 for the season. So the Allstott pick lost.
Yep.
Which ruined it from the jump. And actually, it was ruined before it even got to Saturday because Muffneck's pick was Duke minus 9.5 at Boston College, and I believe it was a garbage time TD that made that lose. So that was very unfortunate. And in the NFL, Jim and I both had picks that won. So Jim and I continue in the Punisher parlay. Alex rejoins the Punisher parlay, which means we're back to a full slate of 4 games in the Punisher parlay.
Back to square, baby. I will just have you know that I have not sat out since we've instituted the Punisher.
No pressure.
Just saying.
I
was a little nervous because I didn't know what pick was mine.
Oh.
Am I sitting out this week? So I'm very pumped to still be alive.
I didn't know which pick was mine. Got it.
I forgot.
Did. So that brings us into college football for the week. You two can take college away.
All right. So our first game, we have Colorado at number 8, USC. USC is favored by 34 points with the over-under set at 65.5.
We know USC is going to dominate. Will they cover?
34 is a big number.
That's a big number.
Whoever played Colorado last week covered about the same number.
But do we have faith in USC?
Well, I don't think it was a top 10 team last week that did it.
All right, let me get to the research board here.
I am staying away. I have to be smart this week.
I just typed Colorado Muff.
It was Oregon that beat them by 39.
Is Oregon a better team than USC?
Oregon's better rank.
Are they a better team?
Yes.
I would say they're a better offense.
Okay. They've put up 42 points before. They've put up 45 points. So they are a high scoring team. I might take that. I might honestly take that to cover.
I'm gonna stick with no, but you do you.
Yeah, this is the week of these weird lines, these high lines with teams that you probably would want to take, but it can also be easily ruined by a garbage time
I did
field
see
goal or
that.
touchdown.
Yes, that is true.
So I'm staying away.
I'm a leaner. That's a leaner for me.
Okay, I'm staying away.
I am also going to stay away. No, our next game is Missouri at number 5, Tennessee. Tennessee is favored by 20.5 points with the over-under set at 56.5. Give me Tennessee best bet.
Ooh,
I think they come back out angry. Not angry, but ready.
It's very possible they may come out angry, but we've also seen Missouri be competitive for no good reason. And
I don't think they cover.
You don't think Tennessee covers?
No, I'm going to come back with an old classic of Alex, don't do it.
I'm going to go back against and be like, this is going to be the week I finally beat Jim and Alex, don't do it.
Yeah, I just don't think Tennessee covers against Missouri. I think Missouri plays tough.
Okay. I'm staying away.
Yeah, me too. I want to. Alex, I want to do this, but Missouri's that wild card.
I'm doing it.
Go for it, buddy.
All right, next game, number 7, LSU at Arkansas. LSU is favored by 3 points with the over-under set at 62.5.
I'm going LSU to cover.
Thank you.
I think this is one of those don't overthink it.
Yes,
LSU's the hot team. Arkansas has been up and down. Don't overthink it. Just take the better team to cover the small spread.
Yep, LSU.
Yep.
Next game, Purdue at number 21, Illinois. Illinois by 6.5 points, over under 44.5.
Moff, what do you think about that over under? I just want to hear your take.
Yeah.
Is Illinois coming off a bad loss for their ranking to Michigan State, had difficulties putting up points. Purdue is one of those teams that struggled heavily against Iowa's defense.
Mm-hmm.
But I will tell you one thing I do not know about is I don't know enough about Illinois' defense. Like, I haven't done enough watching of Illinois games to see how they've been tested. And about the over-under in this, Jim, it really comes down to, do you see a 24-17 game happening? 24-17? 28. Yeah.
A 28 what, Muff?
24-17. Do you see a 24-17 game happening over that? That's the numbers you're looking at.
I would say yes, then bet the over.
Then that's good.
I actually kind of like the over here.
I'm staying away.
If I had to bet, I'm betting the over.
It's a leaner.
We gonna have a leaner parlay, Alex?
No leaner.
Leaner.
Can't be risky this week. I don't have enough either. That's might be one of my only leaners. We could combine Jim and I's leaners.
I'm good. Let's keep the bus rolling.
Jesus.
No fun. Got it. All right. We have the next game being Indiana at number 2, Ohio State. Ohio State favored by 39.5 points with the over-under set at 58.5.
I'm staying away, and I'm not giving any prediction.
Okay.
I'm staying completely silent on this game.
Why?
I say Ohio State will win, but that's as far as I'm going to go.
That's a big spread.
That Northwestern game threw a monkey wrench and everything. And
I get it, but did it really throw that much?
It's going to be cold here in Columbus that day. Like, the temperature drops. It's going to be 70 degrees and all week, and then all of a sudden it's going to be 42. Who knows what's going to happen?
42 is cold?
Compared to the rest of the week? Yeah, probably.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, it's got to be something outrageous.
I feel like you're just making excuses right now.
Yeah,
of all the reasons you don't want to bet this game or think that they can cover.
I don't think they can cover.
I think that your confidence is waning, and that's unfortunate.
It is.
So unfortunate for the Ohio homer.
You're right.
I
I got that pit of the stomach as we inch closer to the game.
I am with Jim. I will not be touching this.
Yeah, I'm not messing with it either.
All right, Oklahoma at WVU. Oklahoma favored by 7.5 points. Over under 66.5.
Is this game being played on Thursday?
No.
So,
Okay, staying away.
Yeah, I'm staying away as well. But
is Neil Brown going to be fired?
Hopefully.
No, this game won't get him fired. He's expected to lose this one. Right? I mean, I'm being sincere.
There's already been a lot of chatter. There was fake trending on Twitter that he was fired.
If I'm Alex, I'm hoping he doesn't win this game.
I told my dad that. I said that I'm kind of on the go 3-9 fire Neil Brown train. He has just no spark.
If he wins this game, he's set, correct? Like he rides out the year.
Not out the year, yes.
Right.
He is gone at the end of this year. I have no doubt.
What's his buyout?
I don't care if he's not gone at the end of this year.
You'll burn some couches,
but out of anger instead of excitement.
Gotcha.
Does Panhandle and WVU Medicine have enough money to buy that contract out?
All angry bird burn. I'll take a pay cut so they get rid of him. They can pay his buyout.
I don't know. I don't know if a pay cut from you is going to do the job, Alex.
That's not enough. No.
We all commit.
We all commit.
Alex puts a petition through work. If you all will just give $1.
Everybody gives $1, we can buy him out.
Yeah. They're always bragging about how many employees they got. Well, watch this.
If everybody takes a $5 pay cut and every patient is willing to add $5 to their bill as a donation, we can do it.
Write a letter and just be like sliding it under patient stores. I'll get called down to HR. Did you write this?
It's like when you check out, like a self checkout, and it's like, well, you round up to donate to.
Yes. Would you like to round up your bill to the nearest $100 to pay my out, Neil Brown?
Oh, buddy.
I bet it would catch on.
Oh, I bet so too. I'm gonna start a GoFundMe to buy out Neil Brown.
All right.
Number 20, Notre Dame at Navy. Notre Dame minus 15.5, over under 40.5. I looked hard at this Notre Dame line. They've looked good, but it's kind of a little bit of a rivalry. So I'm going to stay away.
Rivalry?
A little bit. Not a huge one, but Notre Dame and Navy have a little history.
Yeah, I'm staying away. Anytime any of the service academies are involved, I don't like to pick the game.
Because you don't want to show favoritism?
No, because they all play their own special brand of football that is so different typically than any other teams playing against these powerhouses. So it's all of the prep that goes into the game. It's like, okay, you have 3 days to prepare for something you haven't seen all year.
Yeah.
And that typically does not bring out the best in those teams.
Fair. All right, number 19, Liberty at UConn. Liberty is favored by 14.5 points. The over-under is set at 45.5.
Alex?
Man, you know how I feel about UConn, but I'm not going to touch it. That's a trap game for me and me alone.
It only traps you. Yeah, I'm staying away. I mean, it's UConn, but it is a top 20 Liberty, but again, it's still UConn. Right.
Our next game is Vanderbilt at Kentucky. Kentucky minus 17.5. The over-under set at 47.5.
You going with the Wildcats, Jim?
No.
It's anticlimactic. Okay. So yeah, I'm not going anywhere near this game either.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I also will not be. I'd take Kentucky, gun in my head, but Vanderbilt, I don't know.
I want to. I almost deleted this from the notes tonight because I didn't want to talk about it, so it wouldn't tempt me.
I'm sure that Vandy is going to show up and suck just as bad as always. It's just a matter of what Kentucky team shows up.
Yes.
All right, we'll move on so Jim doesn't get tempted. Pitt at Virginia. Pitt minus 3.5, over under 40.5.
I want Pitt so bad.
I don't think Pitt. I hate Pitt and I eat shit Pitt and all the above, but Pitt wouldn't be a terrible play in this game.
I mean, don't forget what Virginia did last week against UNC.
I know. But I'm staying away for that reason. God, I got too many things else I might do.
Okay. All right, Duke at Virginia Tech. Duke minus 9.5. Over under 49.5.
I'm
This is
This-
another tempting one for me.
staying away from Duke.
I want to hear Alex. That's what I want to hear.
I'm very tempted to do it, but I need to not take too many risks, so I think I will pass.
Okay. Fair enough.
Number 10, Alabama at Mississippi. Ole Miss. Alabama minus 11.5. Over under 64.5. Jim.
No.
No, you close your hands.
I think Alabama covers.
What's Ole Miss's ranking?
They're not. I think Alabama covers. If they don't, what do we think about Alabama at that point?
If they don't cover, I don't care if they don't cover.
What if they lose?
Great teams covered.
What if this is a third loss?
Okay, Ole Miss is ranked 11, just so we're clear.
Well, that didn't say so on the FanDuel.
I was
My
like,
fault.
you're gonna say the notes, and I was gonna be like, you wrote them, Jim.
No. Either that or I missed it, which is totally plausible.
Which is he probably thought it was an OL for like old.
Right. That's why I don't Alabama wins. They're playing away. They're coming off a tough loss. As long as they win this game, they're riding the ship. And they're beating a team in conference on the road that is of a similar caliber, but Alabama should be the superior team.
Do they cover Muff?
I'm not betting this game. If anything, I would
I didn't
maybe
ask
think
you
about
do
the
you bet.
over.
I didn't ask you what you're thinking. I asked you a direct question. Do
You
they
asked-
cover?
That is a definitive question of which I do not have a definitive answer. I will take
Thank
the
you.
over. I'll take the over.
Okay.
All right. Number 3, Michigan at Nebraska. Michigan by 30.5 points with the over under 48.5.
I'm not touching this.
Moving on. That way Jim doesn't attempt to do anything.
All right, Louisville at number 12, Clemson. Clemson minus 7, over under 51.5.
I want this. I'm leaning this, except I'd have to root for Dabo, and that's painful for me. I think Clemson can cover. I don't see why they wouldn't.
Well, we also thought they may be more competitive against Notre Dame.
This is Louisville.
This is Louisville. What does that mean? I understand you're saying it, but what do you have to support your statement?
As much as I hate Dabo, like Louisville is not Notre Dame, and Dabo's going to have his team ready. If there was one coach that comes off a loss that I think does it well besides Nick Saban, it's Dabo.
Louisville has 1,
2, 3, 4, 5.
2 wins against top 25 teams.
And
How many does Clemson have?
do you really think they beat
They have
Clemson?
1 against NC State. No, but I'm saying you're very confident Clemson's going to cover. I'm saying this may be a
It's
closer
7
game.
points.
It's maybe a closer game than maybe a field goal 6-point game. I'm
Oh.
saying you're confident, and that's fine, but I'm not as confident as you.
All right. Well, I'm gonna back away because I already had the reason I don't want to cheer for Dabo. So I'll back away. But I think you're wrong.
You
All
don't
right,
have you don't have to follow me. You've been tailing your way to victory on my coattails for a while now.
I know it's been nice.
Time for you to carve
It's
your
been
own path.
nice. No,
Time for you
I'm
to
good.
carve your own path.
Money's money. Whatever it takes to get there, buddy.
Maryland at number 14, Penn State. Penn State minus 10.5, over under 59.5.
Penn State at home covers 2
If they
touchdowns
don't-
plus.
If they don't, fire James Franklin.
What?
If they don't
Yeah.
cover, fire him.
If they don't
Yeah.
cover, not if they don't win, you've become this weird betting person.
No, I'm trying to figure out a reason to fire him.
I actually
Well,
like that game.
If Ryan Day doesn't cover this week, fire him.
Maybe.
Yes.
Maybe.
Maybe.
No.
All
Not-
right. Wisconsin at Iowa. Wisconsin is favored by 1.5 points. The over-under is set at 35.5.
Literal crapshoot.
I want to take the under so badly.
Then do it.
I'm not going to. I just want to.
Big dog, come on. You're on the top of the board.
I'm not going to. The reason I'm at the top of the board is because I'm not swayed by your peer pressure.
I was just going to say that because he doesn't give in.
He doesn't make stupid moves. Correct.
All right, number 22, UCF at number 16, Tulane. Tulane by 1.5 points. The over-under is 54.5.
I like Tulane.
Why? Why do you like Tulane?
It's a feel, Muff. It's a feel. I missed out on betting them last week.
When you say you missed out, what does that mean?
I should have bet them last week.
Okay.
Like I wanted to. But I second guessed myself. It was my gut last week. Tulane beat the dog shit out of Temple, though. They have beat Cincinnati. Or UCF, I mean.
I think you're thinking too hard on this, which means you should not do it. Which means you don't do it. Just don't do it.
All right.
Tulane beat Kansas State.
Yeah. Most people
you're going to play the who beat who game, and you're going to get in this weird circle.
I know. You're right. You're right.
I'll
stay away. I'll stay away.
We're moving on before Jim gets convinced.
This is basically the show of me talking myself out of doing shit.
Iowa State at Oklahoma State. Iowa State is favored by 1.5 points. The over-under is 48.5.
This is Big 12. We should want to bet the over on this, right?
I know.
I understand
Iowa State.
I understand Iowa State's involved. Oklahoma State hasn't looked good, but this is one of those games where it's like Iowa State runs for 250 plus yards and Oklahoma State throws for 350 plus yards, and somehow they score 70 points. Like that's how I see this playing out. I don't have any confidence to do it, but I see that happening, and everyone will be like, "Oh my God, how did this happen?"
Oklahoma State keeps trapping me because I want to be like Oklahoma State money line. It's at Oklahoma State. Iowa State's okay, but I mean, not great.
No, I'm staying away.
Yeah, me too, because I keep getting burned on Oklahoma State picks. All right, App State at Marshall. App State minus 1.5, over under 47.5.
So that is apparently, through my research, a rival game.
Yeah, it is a little bit.
And it's it's an anniversary of the plane wreck game.
Which means what for your betting world?
I feel like Marshall's going to come in with a chip on their shoulder and win this.
I don't know if it's a chip on their shoulder. I think it's an emotional advantage.
Isn't that okay? All right, Muff.
Chip on your shoulder is typically because you're being doubted. I think Marshall's being doubted in this game. They're coming in with an emotional advantage.
They're not App State's favored. They are being doubted.
By 1.5 points.
That's still a doubt.
Honestly, if anything, I thought that was like a gesture, like it's not that big of a, you know what I mean? Like,
is anybody taking this game?
No.
All right.
South Carolina at Florida. Florida minus 8.5, over under 58.5.
South Carolina is crazy. They catch people. Florida's hot and cold. It's in the swamp.
All of these things you spoke to is why I will not touch this game.
Yeah.
Right. Stay away.
Stay
away all the way.
I like the farther we get in the season, Muff just locks it down.
Number 1, Georgia goes to Mississippi State. It is favored by 16.5 points with the over-under at 53.5. I like Georgia to cover.
This is... I'm staying away only because there's a game coming for Georgia before they reach the end of the season where they are potentially not going to lose, but be trapped in a game that shouldn't be a game. And I don't know what it's going to be, but this could be the one. So for that reason, I'm going to stay away.
I will be taking Georgia to cover. Jim?
They literally have this game, Kentucky and Georgia Tech.
Right. One of those 3 games is going to be unnecessarily competitive. And illogically competitive. It's going to happen. I just don't know which of the 3 it's going to be. And I'm not going to be doubting myself by taking them in 3 straight games to figure it out.
Okay.
All right. Number 22, Kansas State at Baylor. Baylor minus 2.5, over under 53.5. I'm gonna get this is another one. This Kansas State team is gonna trap me into taking them and lose, and I'm gonna be pissed.
So you're doing it, or
No,
okay?
can't do it.
Yeah, I'm staying away. Everything here says take Kansas State money line, or even
Yes.
Kansas State plus the points.
Yes.
If everything says that, this is one of those where I'm not going to say take the logical, because Kansas State has been up and down a little bit too.
Yeah.
And Baylor's supposed to be good, but they haven't been.
I mean, WB beat them.
There's your answer. Sick'em Bears.
Number 24, Washington at number 6, Oregon. The Ducks are favored by 13.5 points. The over-under set at 72.5.
I want to bet the over just because it's fun.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to. I'm going to stay away from this game. I would love to watch this game, though.
Oregon to cover wouldn't be terrible. I'm not going to do it.
I'm staying away.
All right. Number 4, TCU at number 18, Texas. Texas favored by 7.5 points. The over-under 64.5. I am so tempted to take TCU in this game.
Oh, I want Texas, so I'm taking it.
Life is too short to bet the under, so I'm going to bet the over in this game. Lock it in. Best bet. Give me the Big 12. Points.
All right. I think I'm still going to stay away. I just keep getting burned on these. Number 15, UNC goes to Wake Forest. Wake Forest is favored by 3.5 points. The over-under set at 76.5. What?
I think UNC wins this game, covers. Or
UNC
takes.
plus the
I'm
points?
plus the points. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't hate that pick.
I see this is like, I think they're predicting like the UNC App State game all over again.
Yeah.
Texas A&M goes to Auburn, and Auburn is favored by 1.5. The over-under set at 48.5. This is a weird one too, because this is.
I want to see Jimbo lose.
Money line, but it's at Auburn.
I can't get over the fact that Penn State beat the dog shit out of Auburn. I want to see Jimbo lose. I'm going to stay away from this one, but
Why can you not get over that?
That was a mollywhopping all over Auburn.
Beat them 2 years in a row.
Auburn.
Right, but like then Penn State played Ohio State, and that should have been a lot tougher. I mean, yeah, I guess it was tough. Yeah, okay, you're right.
So wait.
You're right.
Penn
You're
State
right.
versus
I
Ohio
take
State
it
should have
back.
been
I
tougher
take it
for
back.
whom?
I take it back, buddy. Calm down. You and I are going to rumble tonight.
I'm trying to figure out what you were trying to say about Ohio State in that whole line of thinking.
I was going to say it should have been tougher for Ohio State, but it was tough all the way to that fourth quarter. So you're right.
All right. In our next game, we have Southern Miss at Coastal Carolina. Coastal Carolina favored by 4.5 points. The over-under set at 48.5.
I mean, I want to take our guys. I would love to take our guys, but I'm not going to take our guys.
I don't have the money to be throwing on this game.
All right.
Is this a Thursday or Friday night game?
No, it's a weekend game. It's the weekend.
Freaking weekend, baby.
And to wrap up our college football slate, we have number 25, Florida State at Syracuse. Florida State's favored by a touchdown, and the over-under is 50.5. I've been riding Florida State secretly in the wings, and I like it.
So now it's not going to be a secret, and it's not going to work out for you.
I was going to say, I'm taking Syracuse plus the points.
I'm not going to do it because I'd hate the 7. I wish it was 6.5. I would be.
That's why I wanted to take Syracuse plus the points. I don't know that Syracuse wins, but I think it'll be a close game.
That's fair.
If I had to take a choice, I'd take Florida State to cover. Syracuse is such on a downward slide right now, and I feel like that's going to continue.
Fair enough.
Okay. Takes us out of the college world into the NFL, starting with Thursday night football. Falcons at Panthers. Falcons -3 over under 42.5. Is anybody not fading Thursday night football? Or is this now a show rule?
I'm going to fade it, I think, but the Falcons -3 is a very tempting line.
Yeah, I was pretty angry that we have this rule.
It's not really a rule.
It's really my rule.
Yeah, I know, but it's worked.
Yeah,
Like it was definitely a conflict for me.
You don't have to follow my rule.
Yeah, but you see how Alex and I are in the basement?
yeah. We're gonna try to start following your rules more.
Yeah, your rules seem to work.
My rules don't hurt. And I think the one time I didn't fade it, it still lost. So
Yeah.
all right. Staying away then
Sunday morning.
in Germany, correct?
Yep.
Yep.
Seahawks at Bucks. Bucks -3 over under 44.5. I'm going to fade the Sunday morning game.
I am not. I will be taking the Seahawks money line.
I mean, I get it. There's no reason not to.
I kind of like the Seahawks money line too.
I would take the points just to be safe, but
would you consider it for a later suggestion?
What, me?
Mhm.
Potentially, yeah. It's definitely an option.
Okay. I'm
So
taking its best bet for me.
is +3 or money line?
Money line.
Okay, Jim.
It's a leaner.
It's a lead.
I'm telling you, Jim. Jim has the leaner today.
Okay, next we have Sunday afternoon, normal time football. Jaguars at Chiefs. Chiefs -9.5 over under 50.5. I am on the Chiefs to cover in this game at Arrowhead Stadium against the Jaguars. Chiefs by 10+.
Fair. I don't hate it. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, it's not a bad bet.
Next, we have the Texans at the Giants. Giants -5.5 over under 40.5 points. Giants coming off a bye.
That last game was tough. Last game was tough for them. I think I lost money on when I bet the Giants against the Texans. It pissed me off. I'm staying away.
I'm taking the Giants to cover.
Yeah, give me the Giants.
Coming off a bye against the Texans. It's go time.
I'm gun shy.
The only thing that would make me even feel different about this is Dameon Pierce running the ball for the Texans because they sure as shit can't throw the ball.
Give me the Giants.
Next, we got the Lions at the Bears. Bears -3 over under 48.5.
Very tempted to go with the fade the Bears train and take the Lions, but I'm going to pass.
I'm not fading the Bears, but I'm also not taking the Lions.
Yeah,
I'm staying away from this
Tigers and
game.
Bears. Oh my.
I'll tell you what I am doing that I'm super excited about is I was able to pick up Justin Fields at quarterback for this week in a couple of fantasy football leagues, and he will most likely be starting.
Yeah, smart.
So I will back Justin Fields, but not fade the Bears. Next, Saints at Steelers. Saints -1.5 over under 40.5. Steelers coming off bye. Saints coming off a Monday Night Football loss to the Ravens, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
So Saints on a short week. Steelers off a bye. This should set up for the Steelers to be in a good spot. But they're also minus Chase Claypool, but they picked up a DB, which they needed. What I don't know about this is the Steelers injury situation, right? They had a lot of DBs out. I believe TJ Watt is slated to return in this game, but I don't know if that's going to be a limited snap count or what. So a lot of unknowns. I'm going to stay away.
I don't want anything to do with it. I think it's volatile. I don't want that. I don't want it.
I don't want your life, Alex.
Nope.
Browns at Dolphins. Dolphins -3.5 over under 48.5.
Nope.
Everything in this game should say Dolphins, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And that's why I'll be staying away.
When does Deshaun Watson come back?
The Texans game.
Week 11, right?
Week 11. Okay. That is what I thought. Okay, yeah, I'm not going to take it because this line just seems so low to me for no good reason. So the Dolphins' rushing defense may be bad. Like that's the only reason that this game should be that close of a line, right?
Yeah, you're right.
So I think that's what we're going for there. Vikings at Bills. Bills -3.5 over to 43.5. Bills coming off a loss. Vikings coming off a win. And Kirk Cousins doing his thing.
There's talk of them resting Josh Allen.
Against the Vikings?
There was talk of that. I was in physical therapy today, and it was on the talkie talk.
Resting him this week.
Yep.
I don't think that line is reflective of that.
I agree. But that's what the talking heads were
They're
saying.
assuming. Now, this game does have a very low over under, like a total line. In my mind.
Yeah, for this game, yeah, 43.5.
So this is Vegas saying that the Viking style of play controls the clock here, right? Because the Vikings are a ball control team, run the ball, play action. The Bills just toss the ball all over the place and put up points. So Vegas is saying that the Vikings are going to control this game, and that's why it's going to be such a close game, and that's why the score is not going to be as high. So take that for what you will. 24-21 is about what they're projecting that score to be.
Yeah.
All that being said, I'm staying away.
Me too.
Next, we got the Broncos at the Titans. Titans minus 2.5 over 36.5. Titans minus 2.5. I've got to believe that's because Ryan Tannehill's status is either out or questionable.
I don't know.
I'll look it up real quick. Talk amongst yourselves about this game.
Talking.
Agree that it looks on paper like Titans minus 2.5 would be the pick. Still don't have it on my list.
Let's go. Titans injury report. Holy cow. Ryan Tannehill, ankle, left practice, which means he started practice, and he probably just left early.
Yeah, he just had somewhere to be.
Right. Well, he left practice.
Somewhere to be.
Well, I think typically when you see left practice for somebody that's recovering from an injury, they just went out, got some snaps, got to run around a little bit, and they went back for treatment. So TBD, I think is what that means. So yeah, staying away with the unknowns. Next we have Colts at Raiders. Raiders minus 5.5 over to 42.5.
No, thank you. Both teams suck. No, thank you. Coaching, no. Who knows if both coaches will even show up to the stadium?
Yes.
No.
Yes, I agree with Jim. On paper, Colts plus 5.5 looks like the move, but with their coaching changes recently, I'm going to stay away.
Well, on paper, with the coaching change, makes you more concerned about the Colts. Not the fact that Sam Ehlinger is a dog shit quarterback.
No, but I think the Raiders have been dog shit too.
At least the Raiders have put up points.
I guess.
The Colts haven't even been able to move the ball.
I'm not touching it.
But now they have a leader of men in Jeff Saturday.
I'm done.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I'm not taking it either. Next to the Cardinals at the Rams. Rams minus 1.5 over 42.5. Are the Rams favored only because Call of Duty?
Yes.
I think the Rams are a better team, and it's at the Rams, but
Call of Duty.
okay, not touching it.
If I was forced to take something, I would take Cardinals plus the points or Cardinals money line.
Of course you would.
Hey, I have zero faith in the Rams. That's really what this comes down to.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm assuming the Fox game of the week, Cowboys at Packers. Cowboys minus 5
probably.
over under 43. Like, it's America's game of the week, the Cowboys at the Packers.
Yeah.
We're just assuming that. Say Cowboys minus 5 over under 43. I am on the Cowboys to cover in this game.
I agree with that 100%. Hammer it home.
I will not be participating.
Why not?
I don't think it's a bad pick, but I just don't want to put my money on it. I don't like betting on the Cowboys.
That's your life, brother.
It's your life. In Sunday Night Football, Chargers at 49ers. 49ers minus 7 over under 45.5. Jim, as a Chargers fan, do you think that line is appropriate?
Yes. What was it again? I've lost track.
49ers to 7.
It should probably be like 14.
Right, which is why I was thinking in my mind, like, do I want to add this?
Well, unless they think Keenan Allen's coming back this week. And that's like he's questionable right now.
Well, we've also got to remember the 49ers are very injury riddled on the defensive side of the ball. So if the Chargers with Austin Eckler and even one of their top 2 receivers coming back could actually pick apart that defense.
Yeah.
So I'm staying away, but interested to see how this ends up. And in Monday Night Football, We are the Commanders. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. Taking on the Eagles. Eagles minus 10.5 over under 43.5.
Why are you both staying away?
Tell us why you would want to be involved.
They're the Commanders, and the Eagles are like the best team in the NFL.
Did we not see what happened to the Eagles the last time they played in prime time?
No.
They did not cover with a double-digit spread.
Got
against the Texans, if I remember correctly.
Got it. Well,
So,
boys, I'm going to tell you, there was a lot of deliberation, so let's get pumped for. Let's get pumped.
Whose deliberation? Yours?
My deliberation.
No, it's going to get to you quickly because Alex and I do not have heavy slates.
Let's go.
Okay, best bets. I will start out. I'm going to take LSU to cover 3 against Arkansas. I'm going to take Penn State to cover 10.5 versus Maryland. I'm going to take TCU, Texas over 64.5. Chiefs to cover 9.5 versus the Jags. Giants to cover 5.5 versus the Texans. And Cowboys to cover 5, taking on the Packers in America's Game of the Week.
I like it. I'm going to go with Tennessee minus 20.5 against Missouri. LSU minus 3 at Arkansas. Penn State minus 10.5 versus Maryland. Georgia minus 16.5 at Mississippi State. Seahawks money line and the Giants minus 5.5.
I'm taking LSU minus 3 against Arkansas. USC minus 34 against Colorado. Penn State minus 10.5 against Maryland. Tulane minus 1.5 against UCF. No, I'm taking that out. It's gone.
You talked yourself out of that.
I know. Texas.
You also talked yourself out of USC, just so we're clear.
I put myself back in.
But you talked yourself out of it, so you've been having conversations yourself behind the scenes on that?
A lot. I'm taking the over in the Texas TCU game. I'm taking UNC plus the points, 3.5. I am breaking the rule. I am betting the Falcons minus 3 against the Panthers.
In Thursday Night Football.
And Thursday Night Football. I am taking the Cowboys minus 5 against the Packers. And give me the Chiefs. Give me the Chiefs minus 9.5. Oh, and then don't forget about the Giants game down here.
Who don't
minus
forget?
5.5.
Who's not forgetting?
Me against the Texans. So that's 9 games.
It is 9. So you fought your way. And
Listen,
then you
Muff,
went.
I've overthought it. I've underthought it. Yeah, it's been a thing.
Okay. Just pointing out that I think you deviated from the plan that got you back up to this level.
Oh God, I know.
All right. Leads us into the specialty picks. First, we have to discuss the Mike Allstott hit stick pick of the week.
Pow, 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 pow.
LSU.
LSU seems to be a common pick. Is there any others?
I like it.
This is typically the death knell for.
We also are all on the Giants. One of those two.
LSU.
If I don't want any bad juju on that Giants game.
So the Mike Allstott hit stick pick of the week is LSU minus 3 taking on Arkansas. In the Neil Brown risky pick of the week.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you.
This is all I ask of you two. Is to be ready for sound effects.
Seahawks money line.
I'm just seeing if there's anything that I would put towards it otherwise, and I don't.
I say USC minus 34.
That's not a risky pick.
It is so risky.
Jim, just because it's a large spread doesn't make it risky. In fact, those are 50-50 picks. The spread is there because it is the same to cover versus the same on each side. The underdog and the favorite.
Risky. I don't know if it's going to hit at all.
Well, then why are you betting it as a best bet?
Because of my gut.
So then it's not risky.
Again, can we go back to reiterate the rules of the risky pick of the week?
I know the rules of the damn money line.
You seem to forget them very often.
Mostly weekly.
Yeah, the only options to even consider in the best bets are Seahawks money line or North Carolina money line. And North Carolina did not treat us well last week, so I am going to jump on board with Seahawks money line.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
You know, Brian, risky pick of the week is Seahawks money line taking on the Bucks in Germany in Sunday morning football.
Germany. All right. Now it's time to get serious.
Now time to decide the Punisher parlay.
Who goes first?
You continue to go first until you relinquish your spot.
I'm going to throw in there the Cowboys -5.
Hold on. Okay, never mind. I was like, is that even a best bet for you? It is. Which I will go next since I'm the second longest tenured person in the Punisher parlay. I am going to take Chiefs -9.5 taking on the Jaguars.
I feel like that's a good pick. Alex, don't get eliminated.
Do I want Penn State or the Giants?
Both are great picks. I just don't want to curse that Giants pick. I'm
Penn
not
State
mad at you
is
either way.
10.5.
No, wait. Go with the one that you think's going to win the most because I want to hit this parlay once before the end of the year.
I was going to say Penn State -10.5
Okay.
prior.
Okay, which means the Punisher parlay
Punisher
will be LSU to cover 3 versus Arkansas, Cowboys to cover 5 versus the Packers, Chiefs -9.5 taking on the Jaguars, and Penn State to cover 10.5 versus Maryland, the Terrapins, in the Punisher parlay. Which brings us to the end of this week's episode of Sports Stuff Betting Stuff. Again, the #1 podcast coming out of Sports Stuff with Jim Muff Enterprise. Remember, was it the 5th of November?
I don't think so.
Remember the 10th of November?
Remember our picks in November because these are going to be fire. Remember to follow
It is
us
the 5th of November. You were right. Kudos to you, Muff.
Alex is going to ride that money train all the way to the fire hydrant to put out all the flames of the bets and the winners while Jim and I look on like, I don't know. What are we looking on like, Jim? Use a good adjective or descriptor there for me. This is like Mad Libs. Go.
Stoic observers.
Stoic observers. And then out of the clouds, up on top of the fire truck, appears Lizzo, and she tells us
It's about
damn time.